I really don't want to go to the gym today, but it's Monday and I feel like we just need to start the week off with a workout. Let's get dressed to go to the gym. I am making my way to the gym. Forced myself to get out of bed and put on my workout clothes, and usually that does the trick for me. So I just joined a gym near me because I am starting to lift more, so I needed to get one with more equipment because my apartment gym is just very limited. It pretty much only has dumbbells and like a cable machine, but I definitely needed more. So going to the gym right now, and this is your sign that if you're just feeling a little tired and lazy, you can take a day off, but I promise if you put your workout clothes on and you just get out the door, you're gonna feel a lot better. And I'm trying not to look at my phone in the morning because I've realized living alone and not like being as social because all of my friends are like married, having babies, traveling, all of this stuff. I've realized that my screen time has gone up so much, so I'm really trying to limit that because I feel a phone addiction coming on and I do not want that.
Businesses, small businesses, and now.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I wanted to film this day in my life and just show you kind of a start to the week, how I balance everything, and really show you everything that I do in a day. Monday morning, I just made my coffee. Of course, it's already September, so I have my little fall mug, and I did put some pumpkin spice in it, so I have to try it to see if it's good. Very subtle. I used almond milk pumpkin spice. I don't even know if it's like a syrup or just like a milk or anything, but it's good. I don't like anything too sweet. So on Monday mornings, I typically go to the gym first thing, and then I come home, I shower, I get ready, and then I pop right here to my little office and start the day. I am renovating my office. I've gotten comments before about like, why is there nothing on the walls and like, what is this little space over here? And so I am renovating it because I'm turning it into a podcast studio. We have a lot to catch up on, guys. I'm starting a new podcast and I'm going to be posting it on my YouTube channel. It's going to be mainly solo episodes, but I definitely want to interview some entrepreneurs as well. So if you guys have any requests of who you want, let me know. I'm going to try to do only like in-person things. It's mainly going to be about business lessons, things that I've learned, founder struggles, but we're going to dive into a lot of like nitty-gritty details that I feel like founders really want to know. So instead of just like, here's how to start a business, getting into how to find a co-founder, how to build your MVP, how to develop your go-to-marketing strategy. Like, I want to take you to school. You know, we're getting our MBA. It's called Just Grow With It. I am so excited. I am launching it next week by the time you see this, probably. On the 17th is when I'm launching it. When is that? No, it's next week. Okay, so I have a lot to do this week. I really want to get ahead of it with all of my filming. So because it's going to be on my YouTube channel, it's going to replace a lot of the like weekly videos, because if I do film a vlog, it's going to be more business related, or it'll just be like in addition to the podcast. But it's gonna be on my YouTube channel every single week. New episodes will go out every Wednesday. It's gonna be on Spotify as well, but it's gonna be video focused. And I'm just really excited. I already filmed the first 3 episodes. I have almost the 3rd episode completed, like finished editing. And so I will walk you through kind of my thought process on all of the work that I need to do to get that launched, because I want to be ahead of it. I don't want to be scrambling. I don't want to be scrambling for episodes. I have 8 episodes already completely scripted out, so all I have to do is film and edit them. I am also headed to London in October. I'm staying for either like 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not quite sure, but I'd love to interview some people while I'm there, just because if I'm over there, I know that there's a ton of entrepreneurs that I listen to and I admire that live there. So if there's anyone that you want me to interview, let me know. But my thought process is script the episodes, film them, do a rough cut edit, do the final edit with all of the titles and the text and the effects, get the short form content, and then auto post all of that short form content and like schedule everything out. That's kind of the flow of the episodes. So it is going to take me quite some time. I was working on it all weekend this weekend because during the week I obviously am focusing a lot on Rella. My podcast and Rella are kind of going to be a Venn diagram, because I do think that my podcast and my personal brand will bring people to Rella, and I have just been wanting to talk way more about entrepreneurship and founder stuff, and I don't find my personal life as interesting or fulfilling, and I don't really want to be sharing my personal life forever. Not that I wouldn't share my personal life completely. Like I'll obviously still share about when I'm traveling and like, you know, things like that, but and vlogs like this, I feel like my content hasn't been providing value for a really long time, and I just want to get back to that, and I feel like I have a lot of value to give. That's kind of why I'm starting this new show, and I'm very, very, very excited for it. I'm also starting a newsletter with the show, so a newsletter will be going out every single Wednesday as well, and that's going to be more like industry news and things that you need to know if you are a founder, creator, ambitious person is kind of what I'm saying. So definitely sign up for the newsletter. And I just have a lot to do this week. So on Monday mornings, I'm gonna sit down and I am going to write out my weekly to-do list. I don't really do daily to-do lists because that stresses me out. And I listened to the Mel Robbins podcast about productivity, and the person that was on her podcast is kind of talking about to-do lists as wish lists, because we greatly underestimate how much time it takes to do things and how much we can get done in one day. So I'm just going to write down my weekly to-do list and kind of like schedule chunks throughout my day of what I need to do this hour, what I need to do this hour, and kind of figure out what like the high priority items are. And then at 10 a.m. we have a team meeting. Let's go over my weekly to-do list. I separate it out by tasks and then projects that I need to do, or like objectives, so bigger things that are going to take a long time, and then errands that I need to run. So this is more like personal life stuff. If we're starting with tasks, I need to create a Google form for our testers. So we're going to start having beta testers before we release updates. We are sending out an email newsletter, and I also need to refilm this community event because I hosted one last week and forgot to hit record. So I'm refilming that. As for projects and objectives, again, this is a weekly to-do list, so I need to edit all of the University of Rella videos. I need to promote a social reset event that we're sponsoring here in Miami, edit all of September's content because that was filmed last week, finish editing episode 3 of the podcast, and film episodes 4 through 6. I also need to get a trailer up for the podcast, and I'm looking into this like AI UGC content called HeyGen, I think, and I'm just gonna see if we can run any of those or use any of those if they're like realistic enough for paid ads. As for errands, I need to go to UPS and do some returns. I have quite a lot to do this week, so we're just gonna jump right into it and get started. Since I only have about 15 minutes, which isn't really enough time to do that much stuff, I'm just gonna make sure that I didn't miss any emails from the weekend. I typically check my emails on Sundays just so that on Monday I don't come in with like a huge inbox. So I'll check the customer support email and my work email. So I'm just gonna go through that before our meeting and make sure I didn't miss anything, since I only have 15 minutes, which isn't enough to like finish any of those tasks. You have them join the group demos?
I could, but like these are more advanced questions.
If we've been seeing it more as a pattern,
it's not like a big group, but it is enough where I'm like, like basically acting like a support specialist through email, like back and forth. Yeah.
How many people would you say? Because I do think with some people it is worth even still doing one, especially because now we don't have one-on-ones filled the entire day. Having one-on-ones for stuff like this, I think is still fine for now. Unless it starts getting to a point where it does start filling up your entire day. I always want us to be known for like our good customer service and like how personal we are. So even if eventually we end up like scaling that side of things, I think that that's fine, because I do think that that's why we have a high trial conversion. I think it's why people talk about us a lot on social media and they share us, is because it feels more personal. So with people that want to do one-on-ones like that, I would still offer it to them until it reaches a point where like it starts feeling like the one-on-ones used to feel. I also did want to thank Squarespace for working with me on this video, because as you guys know, our website is built on Squarespace, and Squarespace is by far the easiest way to build a website. I tell all my founder friends about it. I tell anyone that wants to start a business about it. I truly believe every business owner needs to build on Squarespace. Not only do they have the most beautiful templates, which I think is a huge selling point, because we do not have time as founders to go in and edit our website and make it look all pretty and know how to code and become graphic designers all of a sudden, or website designers. That's not necessarily my forte. So I love that Squarespace has templates where I can just drag and drop things, click things around, change the color, customize it, and it creates a beautiful website in seconds versus spending so long trying to figure it out. They have something called design intelligence, so you can actually have AI help you design and build a website. They also have other marketing tools, so email campaigns, analytics, you can sell items on Squarespace, you can schedule appointments on Squarespace. I know when I used to have my consulting services, I used Squarespace to book all of my calls, and it made it so freaking easy. If you guys want to try Squarespace and get 10% off your first purchase or domain, use my code NatalieBarbu at checkout or go to squarespace.com/NatalieBarbu. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back to the vlog. I just ate my lunch. I had some leftover dinner from yesterday, and I made my second coffee of the day. Let's see what I've checked off my to-do list. So I created the Rella form already for the beta testers, and I sent that to Natasha. I also finished editing a sponsorship, which I finished editing it this weekend. I just needed to include the QR code for the sponsorship. I refilmed this event that I forgot to record and sent that into the community group, and now I have a bunch of other things I need to do. So I think I'm going to start with editing September content. I usually do that on my phone. All of this content has been filmed, so now I just need to edit all of these pieces of content. Obviously, I don't have to do everything right now, but I'm going to give myself a timer of 1 hour and see how much I can get done. Also, I just got this new monitor, and it has been the best. Like, I really want to get a giant monitor when I have my office set up, because I'm going to get a bigger desk than this, but I do want one of those like curved big monitors. But in the meantime, I think having a portable monitor has been so amazing, and I can't believe I lived so long without it. This is every afternoon in Miami during the summer. Like, look at that giant cloud. That is what I envision when I think of like a dark cloud hovering over your head because you're sad. Like, that's the type of cloud I'm thinking about in my head. You can just like see it moving across. And over there is the beach, and it's pretty sunny. So if you're on the beach right now, you probably see that giant cloud coming your way, and you're probably packing up your things. Anyways, I still have more to edit, so let's finish this week's content. Finished editing. That took me a bit longer than I thought. I gave myself a little bit more time because once I figured out that 1 hour was not enough to finish editing the entire week, I was like, I'm gonna take however long it takes me to finish editing this week. So I didn't edit the whole month because that would take me quite some time, but I edited the rest of the week's content, so I feel good about that. We can do the rest next week or over the weekend or just another day, but I got what I needed to get done. And it's all auto-posted, so I don't have to touch it the rest of the week. That is a win for me. Next on my list, I am reviewing this newsletter that's going out, and I'm just gonna make any edits to it. This one is a long one just because we haven't put out a newsletter in quite a while. We also are really proud at Rella because we're always pushing new features, but we're doing a huge cleanup. So Connor and Nick, my co-founders, are cleaning up the entire app to really set us up for larger teams, more users, and enterprise clients. So that means that new features have been put on pause. The four of us are the ones running this multi-million-dollar company, thousands of users, and it's just crazy at how much you can do with so few people. Especially because when we look back at our early days when we had like 0 users and like not a good product, we actually had other engineers, and it was not the other engineers' faults. They were all incredible engineers. We would hire them again in a second. Even when we had more engineers, we are doing so much better and so much more now with just 2 engineers. That's not to say that we don't need to hire, because we're actually looking to hire an engineer. It's still crazy to see how far we've come with just our team of 4. That being said, we don't have any new features that we've released in the past like month. So we definitely want to get a newsletter out and explain kind of what we've been up to, explain some events that we're doing, and just let people know like, hey, we're still working on everything. I think people know that just because we're very active on social media and we are very active in our customer service messages, but I just want to make sure that a newsletter goes out from me about what we're working on, and just making sure that the company is as transparent as possible, because that's something that we're known for. I also just got the cutest package. So my best friend has a coffee company. It's based out of Costa Rica and Dallas, and she just started monthly subscriptions. And this is the coffee that I drink every single morning ever since she started her coffee shop. So I have been purchasing this every month from her, and she just started a subscription. And how cute, she's sending a homemade syrup, like a seasonal syrup, every single month. So this month it's the Copenhagen syrup. These are all made in-house. This has lavender, cardamom, and it's made with brown sugar. And my morning coffees just got so much better. And then it also comes with 2 coffee bags, some magnets and stickers, some coasters. Anyways, this is the best coffee. If you guys want to purchase the subscription, she gave me 15% off. So use the code Natalie for 15% off your first bag. I am done with the work day, which is nice. I might do a little bit of work before I go to bed, but I think I'm gonna call it off today. I just made myself dinner. I forgot to film it, but I made myself a burrito bowl. So rice, beans. I cooked the last steak that I had bought yesterday. I put some lettuce, bell peppers, onions, salsa, and then Greek yogurt instead of sour cream, which is the best hack. It's extra protein, and it tastes literally the exact same. For dessert, I have some Tate's from Tate's Bake Shop. These cookies are so good. And then I just poured a tiny bit of milk in this bowl, and we're gonna do some chips and cookies. Or cookies and milk. I don't know why I said chips. I'm also watching Unknown Number, and I know that the plot twist, okay, spoiler alert, I'll give you like 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I know that it's her mom that is sending the messages, but the mom is in the documentary talking. So I'm like, is it her mom or is it someone else's mom? I'm kind of confused now that I'm watching it, but anyways, I'm gonna eat some milk and cookies and then